Welcome to Saudi Society Clinical Chemistry Podcast. I'm Dr. Abdullah المشاري and we are here in IFCC Dubai. Actually, we are happy today to interview with a unique person in the field of medical laboratory. Professor Nader Rifai is the professor of pathology in Harvard and also the head of clinical chemistry in Boston Hospital for Children. Well, you are most welcome and we are happy to meet you here.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thanks very much. We will talk about something for improvement and something good also for all who's in the field of clinical chemistry or in the lab in general. We were talking about the adaptive learning in medical laboratory. So what's the adaptive learning, Prof. Nader?
I'm glad you asked. This is a program that I have been involved in building for the past 9 years.
Okay.
Adaptive learning, it is the closest to personalized education. Let's contrast it for a second with traditional e-learning. Traditional e-learning is when you go and you find an article on the web or a lecture and you listen to it. It is the same for you as it is for me. It doesn't take into account what I already know. It just doesn't adapt to me. Adaptive learning is an AI-driven technology where it starts by asking you questions, asking you about your level of confidence in your answer, and it times how long it takes you to answer it. And then it will assess your level of knowledge in that particular area and will start quizzing you to identify the areas in which you are not proficient. Then it will give you questions, and if you do not know the answer, provide you with explanations until you become proficient. Then it will move into another area.
Yeah, so like it's by this program, knowing the gap and the area of defect in each person and giving the information depending on his...
Exactly right. I couldn't have said it better. It works by identifying the areas in which you are not proficient. And it will help you to remedy that.
Yeah. This will give a solution for the scientists and all the practitioners, the doctors. We didn't have the time to go travel and attend any courses of our training. They got enough training, didn't have time. Now there is a solution. And how's the aims of these programs? Who's the target of the audience that you are targeted in this program?
Okay, I'm going to answer the two-part questions that you asked me. The first one, I agree with you. This is an excellent way for continuing education, and you can learn at your own speed, at your own time. You don't have to travel, you don't have to block long period of time. If you have 10 minutes, the program will give you information for 10 minutes. If you have 20 minutes, it will give you information for 20 minutes.
Some people, they don't have also vacation to take from the world, and they like to improve themselves.
Exactly. And also the fact that you can access the program on your own phone, on your own computer, iPad. It will make it mobile, so you can use it if you are, let's say, on a bus. You use it if you are on a whatever. The target audience is all levels of laboratory medicine. And the way we did that, we developed 120 courses. We call them advanced courses. And these are mostly targeting those with doctoral level education. However, we have additional 90 courses that were derived from these 120 courses. These courses to meet the needs of practicing medical laboratory specialist or medical technologist. So our goal really is not to limit it to one group in lab medicine, but to all those who work in lab medicine. So if you look at the nature of the courses, we have courses in clinical chemistry, clinical microbiology, hematology coagulation, clinical immunology, laboratory genomics, and transfusion medicine.
Nice. The importance, Prof. Nader, for continuous improvement and continuous learning for who they are in the field, in clinical chemistry field or in the laboratory field in general. We are now in IFCC and, the research and the topics, the workshop, they get added values for the person who attend and have the ability to grasp the information. How do you see the importance of continuous learning, the importance of continuous improvement?
Well, it is absolutely essential, and now it is required. In many countries, you have to have continuing education credit in order to be able to practice your profession. So this is something that it's quite complex because every country have their own system of accreditation. So it's a long-term process. We are working toward that. Couple of things I would like to add. One thing is that this program in its entirety is free of charge in order to remove any financial barrier for those that they cannot afford it. If you are a corporation, for example, or large university, then there will be a fee to access it. But for individual people in the field, students, they can access it for free. The other thing is that I learned from my experience in clinical chemistry and other projects that most people on the planet do not speak English. And people like to learn in their own language. So we started last year a very ambitious program to have the entire program translated to 9 languages, including Arabic.
Wow, that's great.
So we are working with a small group of scientists in Syria, some from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Egypt. But we are in great needs for volunteers. And the way we are doing it, the first pass translation is done by AI. Then the file, the course will be sent to the expert, to a local expert in Arabic in this case, to verify the translation to see if it is acceptable.
Nice, that's great. So 9 language, including the Arabic.
Yes.
Is it now in the website? You can search?
Have 2 courses. Unfortunately, we just started this in Arabic. We are focusing now a lot on Chinese. We have about 26, but we are moving forward with all these languages. The biggest obstacle is finding people who are willing to help us in verifying the translation.
Great. You are working in a great project, and we are happy here in Saudi Society of Clinical Chemistry and in our podcast to hear this news about the program who's free of charge and they can improve themselves and getting the education. You are also working in a great institute, Harvard. How's that working in Harvard and doing like this kind of project? Do you have any support from any institution like Harvard or?
I have, support from Harvard in the sense that they are paying my salary.
Yeah.
And being associated with the university, that means you have academic responsibilities, be in research or education. So in the first 30 years of my professional life, I dedicated it to biomarker research, particularly in cardiovascular disease. But in the last 10 years or so, I got very interested in medical education to learn how people learn, why do they read, in order to figure out what will be the best way to help people not only to learn, but to retain what they think they have learned. And I got more and more involved, and now I spend a great deal of my time in this particular program.
Great. The impact of like this program in the worldwide, who's the people that attend and improving themselves, the effect will be more than...
I hope so. I think this is probably one of the most influential things I did. At the present time, we have close to 15,000 people worldwide and from 154 countries are using it. And I'm pleased to say that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is one of our top 10 users.
Oh, nice.
So with the help of colleagues in the Saudi Association, they were able to inform their membership. I mean, this is the one thing I realized from talking to people, like people here in the Emirates.
Yeah.
And they kept saying, but this is a great program. How come nobody told us about it? So I don't want it to be the best hidden secret. We spend a lot of time, a lot of money and resources to build it. My only hope is as many people as humanly possible on the planet to use it and benefit from it.
That's great. And we will be happy also to share the link. Who's the one who's be attending this kind of program? Is there kind of any certificate of attendance, something like that?
Excellent question. Indeed, yes. We just developed a certificate. So when you complete successfully a module or a course, you will receive a certificate.
Nice, that's great.
Yes.
About the references that we use to build the courses.
Every question, every topic has a reference to back it up.
Oh, that's great.
If you as a learner, you disagree or you find the way the question was asked not clear or tricky, immediately you can challenge it and it will goes back to the author, and we the editors receive it and we work with the author on modifying it and make sure that it is correct and clear.
Thanks, Prof. Nader, for your time. At the end of this interview and podcast, what's your positive word for the young people, young scientists? Encourage them to continuous learning and continuous improvement.
I hope they will be excited about the field, excited about what they are doing. I hope they will not look at all these materials that being given to them as a burden. I hope they look at it as an opportunity to improve themselves. And we built it in a way that it appeals to the young generation, more interactive than the traditional articles.
Yeah, that's great.
I grew up on.
Oh, that's great. I have said that it's my last question, but I have something.
Absolutely.
That, now, the IFCC, it's the first time in Arabic region. How do you see that, the IFCC now in Dubai for the first time?
This is wonderful. This is really, really wonderful. I mean, I was privileged to be asked to participate in the organizing scientific committee. And I made it clear that we cannot have a meeting in this region and continue to invite people from Europe and from North America. And I hope I did a good job in suggesting some excellent names for major presentation, like the one this morning by Samia Mora, who is a very dear friend to me, one of my colleagues. I knew her for 25 years. She started as a young physician with us.
Yeah.
She is originally half Syrian, half Lebanese. And tomorrow, also the speaker is a world-class researcher from King Faisal. And again, tomorrow there is a wonderful session about the genetic metabolic in Saudi Arabia. Again, I know some of the speakers, and they are fabulous scientists.
That's great.
It is an opportunity to show that we don't always receive. We started giving back.
Nice.
Not only to our region, but for the rest of the world.
Exactly. Thanks for your positive word and positive energy for us and for the audience. And thanks for also...
Thank you for the opportunity.
Appreciating your time and your valuable project about the continuous educational learning, what we call it adaptive learning in medical laboratory. Appreciating your time. Thanks again, Professor Nader Rifai.
Thank you for your...
At the end of this podcast, thanks and see you later.